Well, perhaps that is in the for the company perspective is more like managing the risk, and is part of the one of the biggest risks is usually is related to laying off people. So and this will definitely will have an immediate disbursement in terms of the cash. So if they can really actually growing this fund, and they have actually some kind of uh, fund that they can use for the severance on the rainy day. But in principle, the pension fund or the retirement fund is not for risk management. It's more like a benefit. If you look from the philosophy of the why we have to have a, this kind of pension fund. So it's not really just to deal with the severance pay. But I can understand also because nowadays, because of the all the changing in the environment, business environment, the long crisis, health crisis that for the first time that we had for a very long period of time, this actually becoming most important issue in the forefront, that how to secure our funding to address all these immediate needs if you have to lay off people. But in the longer period of time, the normal situation, no crisis, I think it should be back to the original idea of giving this as a benefit. It's not just for the rainy day of the risk management type of situations. Because if the business is good, most likely there is no restructuring. And as you know, like in the 97 situations, you remember that all the company trying to restructure their businesses because, situation is so bad, So layoff is the first one that usually they put up on the table, and that will need an immediate settlement, right? Before any other claims. Well, there are a lot of debate, like whether you have to pay first your employees or your lenders, like that's a big issue, but definitely there is that kind of perhaps perception from the past that why we have to put up all this funding, because in case we need the restructuring, yes, we will have the funding. But in the normal situation, I would suggest that we think quite differently, because this is actually when you have war of talents that hard to retain some people, that you want these people to stay with you. So you will have this kind of retirement package and others. Many people are saying that, now the millennials are not interested in this. They can hopping from one job to the other. Yeah, because they're millennials, they're young. They are not yet 45 years old. If you start your pension fund when you are 45 or 50, perhaps you have a very short runway, because there are no number of years for accumulations of the return from the asset in the trust. So that is the thing that perhaps companies also has to be a little bit more careful when they are deciding on this, because they said, oh, millennial will not need, so we don't have to procure the funding. Perhaps it's not. Once they are getting older, perhaps they are not as greedy as my generations, which is like, the baby boomers, but still they need that some kind of retirement fund that they can tap in once they are reaching 50 years old, So that's the reality of the situations right now. But I can understand government has some priority at this point in time for whatever they're trying to attract the foreign direct investment coming in. That's why there is Undang-Undang Cipta Kerja, the job creation law. But the thing is that this is more like, for me, it's like a stopgap measurement at the point. Because in the long run, if the economy is getting better and we are also more productive, it's not going to be the first priority to do restructuring and laying off people. So that's not the story.